Hi folks, welcome to the Place of Sound's audio editing tutorial. This video shows you everything you need to know about Audacity, so let's jump in. To start with audio editing, we're focusing on getting our raw audio file to the space we want it to be in the final product. So you're going to drag in your audio file and work on editing out anything you don't want. And this is super easy. Wherever I put my little marker or keypad, I can zoom in as close as possible, either on the keypad or with this zoom in toggle here, so I can really know what I'm isolating. Say I think there's too much of a pause here, I can highlight this section, press delete, and it's out of the audio file. Once you have edited out all the content you don't want in your final, you're going to want to focus on the levels. You're going to go into Effects, Volume and Compression, and Amplify. It's important to note in Audacity that you have to actually select the audio file you're working on, so just make sure you highlight it. And then I want it to be at 0.5, and it just raises it to that. And I'm going to check that it's reaching that -6 dB. See, it's right along that line. So I'll be back in a sec. I'm going to do that to the rest of my audio files and show you how we assemble a multi-track. Now you see I have all the files edited, cleaned up, and in this multi-track. I usually like to keep all the files of the same type in one track. So in this case, the top is music, the middle is my interview clip, and the bottom is my narration. Just helps to keep you organized. You don't have to do it in this way, but it's a very helpful organizational tip. And the first thing I'm going to teach you how to do is to split a clip. So say I want my narration to come in right here. I can put my marker there, double click, and select split clip. And that way I can drag this to accommodate my narration in between these two clips. I also want to point out that if you ever make a mistake in editing, as we all do, in edit you can undo your last move. So I can undo moving that clip at all, and that's really helpful when you delete something you really didn't want to delete. And now I'm focusing on this music piece here because I want it to come in more naturally, and right now it's all one big kind of audio level. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select all the track and move these down a bit so the music has some time to breathe, and I'll move this music, this theme song, up a little bit. And in order to fade it under, I am going to select this clip, go into Effects, Volume and Compression, and Auto Duck. What that does is provide you with a kind of fade under, so your music gets lower as the audio comes in. It's really cool, and it's helpful also if you have a long piece of music with lots of audio files, because it'll automatically see space that needs to be filled and raise the music or lower it when narration or interviews are coming in. If I want this music to fade out gradually at some point, I can go into Effect, Fading, and Fade Out. And that gives it a more gradual kind of fade out. And of course, if you have this music at the end of your piece as well, you can do the same process, except you select Fade In, for example, if you want it to fade in from your audio track. And once we've done that, we're going to mix down our file into one mono file. And we're going to go into Tracks, Mix, and mix and render. But before we do that, we have to select all the tracks in our audio file. So once again, there you have it. And now that's our audio story. I hope this was helpful to you all. There's obviously much more to know and many more nuances, and you can always go to YouTube or Google. They have a wealth of information there. So thank you for watching and happy editing.